The Nintendo Switch OLED left me wanting more. Now, I'm not talking about the performance. I know the performance is lacking. It's been lacking since launch. Pleased to meet you, Henry. And, we're all still dealing with it. But there was something about it. They put an OLED display in it, which is nice. The Switch LCD was kind of dull after you looked at the OLED, but something just left me wanting more. I mean, they put an OLED display in the Steam Deck. I don't want more out of that. I feel like it's fine. I don't need more because the Steam Deck plays exactly the way that you would want it, handheld. The OLED left me wanting more out of my TV experience. You see, when it comes to playing Switch on the TV, I didn't play it on the TV when I first had it. I actually played it on monitors, 2 monitors at my desk. One of them was a Ultra Gear, LG Ultra Gear, something like that, and the other one was just some cheap one that was my first one. Those 2 monitors did me what I needed them to do for me. Fine, but they were by no means special. The visuals were lackluster. And when it came to the TV itself is for my family. I give them the living room because I have my office, and my office has become my game room. But still, I was wanting more. I needed more. The visuals just felt like a problem, and when I was playing on a smaller monitor, I felt like I was shortchanging myself. Again, the Steam Deck, it doesn't matter because the Steam Deck, you often aren't docking it. You can, and I think that is really what the Steam Deck has to offer, which is you can dock it. But when it comes to the Switch, I mean, the name Switch is so that you can switch from handheld to TV mode. That's kind of the way that it's supposed to, or docked mode. So I went out and got an OLED TV. I got the LG C2. That has been my daily driver for the past year. Everything from gaming to normal everyday work. It's my monitor, and a vertical monitor in all its glory, and my vertical monitor by Inokin. It's a 4K one. That's just for like extra stuff on the side, but this is really my main monitor. I do everything on this. I have edited videos on this. I watch movies on it from time to time when I'm watching movies in here, and most of all, I play my Nintendo Switch on it, and, well, Xbox and PlayStation 2. This is my daily driver, and it has been for the past year because it's all I've been able to afford when it comes to gear for my desk. It cost $1,048 when I purchased it back in 2022. $1,048. It's not cheap, but 2 really nice monitors with the same type of screen real estate would cost you similar, I suppose, but not give you what this can give you. 120 frames a second, 4K, HDMI 2.1, so that you can do 4K 120. But I'm not getting 4K 120 with my Nintendo Switch, even though I got this TV based on 4K 120. I don't know my logic, but really, the reason why I got it was because my OLED experience on my Nintendo Switch was so good that now my visual experience was compromised when playing docked, and I just wasn't about to have that. And so I figured, how can I push the boundaries of my desk setup? And this is what I did, a TV. So there are a few things I love about this, and there are like 2 really huge fatal flaws that if I would have known, I would have probably explored other options before I got this guy right here. So the first thing that I really enjoy about it is the OLED panel. I mean, yeah, I know it goes without saying. The OLED is great. Visuals are stunning. And I did add a little extra something to my Nintendo Switch experience, and that is the M Classic, which is an upscaler. It doesn't do a lot. It really doesn't. And I've covered this in other videos, so if you want to watch it, I have it somewhere linked at the end of this. I really do like that, but it makes it look crispier. It's $100. I don't know if it's worth $100. They gave it to me, so I didn't have to pay for it. I probably would, seeing as it is pretty good, but anyway, it makes the visuals look better. And I think that in and of itself made this a very good experience. So much so that my next TVs in my house will maintain the OLED technical specification. I'm not going back to LCD. OLED really has changed it for me. I like the contrast. I like playing a game and seeing that difference. And, the higher refresh rate does feel nice. I was already having high frames in something like Fortnite on my monitors. They were gaming monitors, so I was already able to maintain that refresh rate. But this adds the 4K elements and the OLED elements, which is massive. The other thing I do like about it is that it has quite a few ports. It has 4 HDMI ports. And so all of my machines are plugged into this. I have my PlayStation 5, my Switch, and another output for Xbox or any other device I decide to run through this, which right now my Xbox isn't up. My Steam Deck is actually taking that, so I can do some testing with the Steam Deck docked. And the experience is okay, but it's nothing compared to the Nintendo Switch's dock experience. That is perfect. It genuinely is perfect. Part of the reason why I think the Nintendo Switch is perfect. Now, the last thing that I absolutely love about my OLED TV has got to be the screen real estate. It's massive, and my Mac knows that. So when I'm running normal computing and stuff like that on this, oh man, the screen real estate is phenomenal. Because it's bigger, 42 inches, because it's 4K, and my MacBook Pro knows it, I am able to do multiple things in one page when it comes to video editing and stuff like that. Now, here comes the fatal flaw that you can't change unless you go in and do some like hacking and coding on the machine itself, which for me really is bothersome. So much so that I have spent time editing without this plugged in. I know I just said that it's really nice, but this one thing kills it for me, and that is auto dimming. Auto dimming is the bane of my existence. And you would think that with editing movies and different things, auto dimming wouldn't take place. It does. It still happens. The auto dimming feature on this TV is annoying. And if you're doing anything for a prolonged period of time other than playing video games or watching anything, so if you're using this as a monitor, which it's HDMI by the way, not DisplayPort or USB-C, it's HDMI, so you have to use an adapter because it's a TV. But if you're doing anything, that auto dimming thing really becomes a problem. That feature, which is good for the OLED panel, I suppose, it makes sure that your OLED panel doesn't burn in or any of that nonsense, kills the experience when it comes to using it as a monitor. The last thing that I think really makes this challenging is it's a TV. This is not a monitor at all. And because of that, any sort of input changes you want to do, you got to have this ugly thing with you. You always have to have this nearby because your whole device, yes, you can auto switch based on what input turns on, but that becomes even more annoying because if you go to turn on your computer and the computer needs you to turn on the TV, but once you turn on the TV, if you're auto hooked up to your PlayStation, then it turns on the PlayStation, then it auto switches. And so anytime you want to just sit down and go, it is not the same as shaking your mouse and all of a sudden you have access to a monitor. Because this is a TV. You're pushing the boundaries and the limits of a device that was designed to give you entertainment rather than any sort of productivity. And those two things, when combined at times, make it that I actually unplug my computer, my laptop, my 15-inch laptop. It's nothing extraordinary. Or 16? Maybe it's 16? It's 16. They switched to 16. Mac switched to 16. I unplug it, and I'll do a great deal of work at my second desk, my movable desk, my coffee desk, just because I don't want to deal with any of the button pressing, switching that has to happen here. And that's just been more of my personal experience. But when it comes to gaming as a whole, I can honestly, definitively say I'm stuck. I could never switch back. I can't switch back to an LCD panel. I can't switch back to a lower refresh rate. I can't switch back to any of that. Because the experience that you get playing something like Final Fantasy VII Remake or Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, even something older like Donkey Kong, Tropical, for any of these games is so vibrant. And especially with something like the Nintendo Switch and how it was designed with the OLED panel, it leaves you wanting more if you don't also dock it and play it on an OLED panel. If you want a C2, you should get one. The C3 is out. I don't have a C3, but based on what I've looked at, it is better, but you could probably get this for like dirt cheap. Again, I paid $1,048 for mine. I think right now you could probably buy the 42 for cheaper, and I would not get a 48-inch for the desk. My first one was 48 inches, and it was far too big for this space. So this, the 42-inch, is pretty much the biggest that you can go on a desk without getting crazy eye strain. If you want to purchase one, the links below are affiliate links. So a few bucks will be taken from the Amazon or Best Buy profits and given to Caffeine and Consoles, to me, JD Coffee. Helps my family and makes it so that I don't have to go out and get another job. All right. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I make cinematic Nintendo-based videos. Yeah. Infrequently. So, happy gaming.